Fast am I, good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. Tonight I start with a favourite version of a favourite song of mine. This is Clyde Waters by Aeneas Mitchell and Jefferson Hamer.
Willie stands in his stable door, and he's combing his coal black steed, and he's thinking of fair Margaret's love, and his heart began to bleed. Mother, fetch my hat and coat, help me tie them on. I'll away to fair Margaret's bower before the night comes on. Stay at home with me, dear Willie, tonight there comes a storm. I'll lay the table handsomely, your bed be soft and warm. Your tables, mother, and your beds, they cannot bring me rest. I'll away to fair Margaret's bower before the night is past. If you go to fair Margaret's bower, my curse will go with thee. In the deepest part of the Clyde water, drowned you shall be. The good steed that I ride upon cost me thrice 30 pounds. I'll put my trust in his swift feet to take me safe and sound. He's rode over the high, high hill, down the dewy glen, and the rushing in the Clyde water would have feared 500 men. Roaring Clyde, you roar so loud, the streams are wondrous strong. Make me a wreck as I come back, spare me as I'm going. And when he came to fair Margaret's gate, he's called to her within. Rise up, maid Margaret, rise up and let me in. Who's that stands at my garden gate, calling maid Margaret's name? It's only first love, sweet William, this night come to your home. Open the door, maid Margaret, open and let me in. My boots are full of the Clyde water, and I'm shivering to the skin. My stable is full of horses, Willie, my barns are full of hay, and my bowers are full of gentlemen, they'll not remove till day. Fare thee well, maid Margaret, fare thee well, adieu. A curse my mother laid on me for coming this night to you. He's rode over the high, high hill, down the dewy glen, and the rushing in the Clyde water took Willie's hat from him. Then he's leaned him over his saddlebow to fetch his hat again, and the rushing in the Clyde water took Willie's coat from him. And he's leaned him over his saddlebow to catch his coat by force, and the rushing in the Clyde water took Willie from his horse. The very hour this young man sank down in the watery deep, then up in rose maid Margaret out of her drowsy sleep. Come here, my mother dear, I've dreamed a dreary dream. I dreamed my lover was at our gate and nobody let him in. Lie down, maid Margaret, your lover's come and gone. The sport you'd have made with him, I've played it for my own. Nimbly, nimbly rose she up down to the river's brim, but the louder that this lady very first step that Margaret took, she stepped up to her feet. And oh, when at last this lady sighs, your waters wondrous deep. And the very next step that she went in, she's waded to her knee. So she, I would wade farther in if I, my true lover, could see. And the very last step that she went in, she stepped up to her chin. In the deepest part of the Clyde water, she found sweet William in. You have had a cruel mother, Willie, I have had another, and now we sleep in Clyde water like sister and like brother.
That is so beautiful, isn't it? Just wonderful. Anais Mitchell and Jefferson Hamer and Clyde Waters from the album Child Ballads. I do hope they make another album together sometime. Now, you may have noticed that last week's show was a repeat from about a year ago, and that's because I ended up under the care of the wonderful doctors and nurses in Ward 1 at Nobles Hospital. Back home and back in action now, obviously, but I'd like to say a huge thank you to those people in that wonderful place, and by extension, the whole of Manx Care and the NHS. What a wonderful institution it is. And to celebrate that and the people who work in it, here's a song by Martin Joseph called Nye, Song for the NHS.
9 days before I was born, you were gone. What you left behind. Great architect of health reform came forth from your soft heart and tough mind. When nothing good comes easy, we fight for the dreams that we hold. And you finally got your bill through, though you had to stuff their mouths with gold. And the purpose of power is to give it away. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dreams are alive and strong. This tired and drained, it's 2 a.m. She summons up the strength again, she smiles. It's not for the wage she does this job, it's a greater call that cannot be defined. The surgery, the plaster tape, the arm around the aching and confused. And drugs to give a little one more time to play, they should never be refused. And the purpose of power is to give it away. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dreams are alive and strong. The accident, the cancer cell, the final breath of sacrament at dawn. The beating heart, the broken to the cry of the fragile being born. Just 9 days before I was born, you were gone, oh, but what you left behind. Your greatest hour remains with us now. We're holding on with soft hearts and tough minds. Listen, no society can call itself civilized if the sick are denied through lack of means. And if you don't believe me, just take a plane, my friend. Go break your arm, see what it costs in New Orleans. And the purpose of power is to give it away. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dreams are alive and strong. And the purpose of power is to give it away. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dreams are alive and strong. Yes, it is.
Well, that excellent piece of music was For the Bathtubs and Freya Isabel Campbell by Gillian Fleetwood from a new album called Together With Yourself at Sea Level. I've just come across this album and it's really, really good. I'll play you something else from it next week too. Gillian Fleetwood is probably best known as a harp player, but has long been passionate about songs and arrangement. And in her time in Glasgow, she's been fortunate to collaborate with a broad and inspiring range of musicians in her performing life so far. Next, I'm going to dip back into that box set from Les Cousins that's released on Cherry Red Records. I've played you quite a bit from this, but I'm particularly focusing on artists that I didn't really know much about. This next track is by Sheila MacDonald. It's called Silk and Leather. And as Ian Anderson says in the notes, as cult figures go, few come with greater credentials than Sheila MacDonald. A wonderful singer, guitarist and songwriter, her two Sandy Robertson produced LPs shared musicians, arrangers and photographers with her friends Sandy Denny and Nick Drake, and they were among the jewels of the early 70s folk rock era. Many feel that she had the edge on both. Who knows what might have happened if she hadn't apparently disappeared off the planet in 1972, later spending years living in tents in Scotland until re-emerging briefly and gigging again in 2013. Sheila MacDonald.
When there was nothing left to say, I left you on a rainy day in a grey railway station in September. Seeing only you'd be wise as I went blindly through the crowds, the chatter and the tears and the goodbyes. That couldn't be me, not the one that you see beside you now. I'm on a different road from you, I have my paths to pursue. I myself, you and your And I could write you all these letters on perfect pattern paper, greet you at the door with a name in my hand. I could wake you every morning with coffee and newspapers, smile down at you with your son in your arms. But that couldn't be me, not the one that you see beside you now. I'm on a different road from you, I have my paths to pursue. I myself, you and your letter. And the charm, and you can spend a lifetime drawing the same patterns, singing the same song that echoes around your mind. You're the man, and you can blow away the years of women's sorrows, but blossom back on trees that are parched for time. But that couldn't be me, not the one that you see beside you now. I'm on a different road from you, I have my paths to pursue. I myself, you and your letter. And I could sit here by my doorway for the springtime on my shoulders, sit through all the summer with the sunshine on my arms. I could sit and watch the autumn leaves blowing through my window, the patterns on my table in shades of red and brown. But that couldn't be me, not the one that you see beside you now. I'm on a different road from you, I have my paths to pursue. I myself, you and your
Next, here's a track by Niamh Regan, a critically acclaimed songwriter from County Galway. Released in the midst of the lockdown in 2020, her debut album, Hemet, announced her arrival as one of the most distinctive songwriters in Ireland today. This song is called Sweetest Drop. It's really good.
Little mockingbird, how did you get home last night? And who did you kiss goodnight? I'm on my own. A little hummingbird, how are you so brave? get home last night? And who did you kiss goodnight? I'm on my own, a little hummingbird. I told you I was done with that, and I washed my hands, not looking back, 'cause I'm on the road. Wash me down, dress me in white. Oh, where I've seen some things I never want to ever see again. Oh, where I've seen some things I don't ever want to see again. Oh dear lover, you can save me now. I know you're under, I won't drink much, I wouldn't stay too long. Have you heard it before? I won't drink none, I won't touch none. If well, that's what it means to you. I won't drink none, I won't touch none. If that's what gets me to you. 'Cause you're the sweetest drop that I ever had. And I wouldn't call it thirst compared to what I had for you. A little mockingbird, I don't even understand how you have the upper hand. I'm at a loss. A little hummingbird, told you I was done with that, and I wash my hands, not looking back. I'm on the road.
Now, I hope it hasn't escaped your notice that this Friday night at the Institute in Laxey, we have the wonderful Tim Eadie coming to play. There are still some tickets left, not many, they're going quite quickly, I'm pleased to say. And if you'd like to get one, just go to www.etickets.im/et. They're just £15, and Tim is the most amazing guitarist, melodeon player, piano player, all sorts of things that you are ever likely to see. I really do recommend it highly. I had intended to play last week a track from his recent album with Ross Ainsley called Dyad, and I'll do that now. It's called Lunny, and I'll follow that with a track from his Live from Teapot Studios Scotland album, Lady Be Good, the Gershwin tune. On this second one, it's Tim all the way playing live with his fantastically clever use of looping so that he can play piano and melodeon and guitar all at the same time. And that's what you'll be seeing this Friday night if you get yourself a ticket.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, that was Tim Eadie, and make sure you get one of the remaining tickets as soon as you can for this Friday night at the Institute in Laxey. Other music happening this week around the Isle of Man. On Wednesday night there'll be Blues Club down at the railway. I'm not sure I'll make it for the first time in many, many years, but I'm sure Heinrich and the rest of the guys will do a sterling job running the night for me. Also on Wednesday night will be the session down at O'Donnell's, Friday night the session at the Mitre in Ramsey, Thursday night the Folk Club in Ramsey at the Buffs Club. There'll also be a Sunday session, but I'm not sure where it is because I'm recording this a couple of days early, as I often do these days. Wherever it's happening on the island, get out and support live music as much as you possibly can. Now, a few weeks ago I said I was looking for a track from the new album by Blair Dunlop, but it hadn't been released yet. Well, there is a single now. This is it. It's called I Wanna Be Running.
Sake of aspiring, desiring, always just out of reach, tiring, none of the synapses firing, wiring, something you cannot teach, headaches, never talk about heartbreaks for our sake, 'cause you sound like a bore. Why must I be losing all my trust? I just wanna feel like before. Slips through your fingers, wearing your blinkers, it cuts to the bone. Oh, honey, I wanna be running, but we can't shake these shackles alone. I've been wearing, staring at the screen in the dark, caring, all my folks are despairing. I am repairing, trying to get back the spark. Well, you hold it, slips through your fingers, wearing your blinkers, it cuts to the bone. Oh, honey, I wanna be running, but we can't shake these shackles alone.
Next, here's a track from Bethlehem, the album that Jim Murray released last year, as a retrospective, but it's actually all new recordings of songs from his previous albums. This is a great traditional song. This is Hind Etin.
Lady Margaret sits in a bower door, sewing a silken seam. She's heard a note from Elman's Wood and wished that she was there. She's thrown her needle to her side and the thread down to her knee. And she has gone to Elman's Wood as fast as she could fly. She's walked among the bustling wood and sat down by the stone. A Bayan came up behind it in, saying, "Lady, leave alone. You may not pull the flowers here, nor shade under this tree. For I'm the keeper of this wood, and none may go but me." I heard a note from Elman's Wood that floated on the wind, the sweetest music e'er I heard that drew me here within. But something in her winsome smile had caused his heart to moan. He's fluted her into a trance to keep her as his own. He's got the branches from the oak, the rushes from the stream, and he has made a shady bower to keep his lady in. She had not been so very long away from home, when she grew heavy round the waist with child coming on. She had not been but 7 years away, when she is born in 7 sons to keep her company. But how her heart did mourn the loss of the world she's left behind, that every hour of the day the tears come rolling down. Then up and spoke her eldest son, sat at his father's knee. What makes our mother fall to weep and mourn continually? Your mother was a king's daughter, sprung from some high degree. She would have had some noble prince, had not been stole by me. So that night when they were in one bower, before the close of day, the eldest took his flute in hand and he began to play. He sounded such a soothing note, for he had learnt them well. His father fell into a trance, his mother from hers fell. She took her children in her arms and started for the town. And every mile this lady ran, her heart was beating strong. And when she reached her father's house, it was not even day, and not 1 hour had even passed since she had been away. The king's awoken in the morn and called his court around, and he has sent his merry men to burn the woodland down. They lived inside the royal house full of mirth and glee. And when the king he was deceased, heir to the crown was she.
Returning for the last time to Les Cousins, the soundtrack of Soho's legendary folk and blues club, I'm going to play you a track by Dave and Tony Arthur. The male-female duo was a popular format on the folk scene in the 60s and 70s, and the Arthurs were one of the more notable. Their Bill Leader-produced debut album of 67 was unadorned with guest musicians, and they had a residency at the club. Tony, you may remember, became a popular TV presenter of shows like Play School, and they've both since become authors. This is A Maiden Came from London Town, and I'll follow that with an early version of a song you'll know by a man who did many of his early gigs at Les Cousins in London, the one and only Paul Simon.
A maiden came from London town, some apples and pears to sell. An adventurer met her on the way, what's this you've got to sell? Away, me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. Me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei.
Oh, it's apples and pears, kind sir, come taste them if you please. And if there's anything else you want, you can ask it at your ease.
Away, me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. Me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. What would you take me, pretty fair maid, to lie one night with me? For to give me all you've got and be good company. Away, me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. Me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei.
£20, kind sir, she said, to lie one night with me, and I will give you all I've got, and I'll be good company.
Away, me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. Me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. So they went back to London town, and to her room they went. For he'd an eye on this pretty fair maid, but he wouldn't pay her rent. Away, me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei. Me tara, 1, 2, I do a, sing right for lorelei.
A winter's day in a deep and dark December, I am alone, gazing from my window to the streets below, on a freshly fallen silent shroud of snow. I am a rock, I am an island. I built walls, a fortress steep and mighty, that none may penetrate. I have no need of friendship, friendship causes pain. It's laughter and it's loving I disdain. I am a rock, I am an island. Don't talk of love. Well, I've heard the word before. It's sleeping in my memory, and I won't disturb the slumber of feelings that have died. If I never loved, I never would have cried. I am a rock, I am an island. I have my books and my poetry to protect me. I am shielded in my armor, hiding in my room, safe within my womb. I touch no one and no one touches me. I am a rock, I am an island. And a rock can feel no pain, and an island never cries.
Staying with artists who played at Les Cousins in the 1960s, I've just discovered that there was a set of recordings by Pentangle released last year called Reunions, Live and BBC Sessions 1982 to 2011. The full band back together and recorded a few years before the sad death of John Renbourn and then Bert Jansch a few years later. This is perhaps their best known tune. This is Light Flight.
Well, we're going to do one more for you. You said. And this song is even trickier to get together than the last one was. So, and it's called Light Flight, this one.
Here's another track by Owen Williams from his Lo-Fi EP2 release on Bandcamp. This is 90s Strings. A big thank you to all of you who have sent me messages recently at folkshow@manxradio.com. They're always very welcome. I'm going to leave you with a track by Siobhan Miller, The Ramblin' Rover. I'll see you next week. In the words of my great predecessor John Caneen, if we're spared. Of course we will be.
Oh, there's sober men in plenty, drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed their kettle. But give me a rambling over, frae Orkney down to Dover, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. I have roamed through all the nations, in the light of all creations, enjoyed a wee sensation when the company did prove kind. But when parting was no pleasure, I've drunk another measure to the good friends that we treasure, for they always are in our minds. Oh, the sober men in plenty, drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed their kettle. But we me a rambling over, they aren't we down it over, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. There are many that feel enjoyment from merciless employment, that ambition resists deployment from the minute they left the school. They save and scrape and ponder while the rest go out to squander, see the world evolve and wander, and are happier as a rule. Oh, the sober men in plenty, drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed the kettle. Give me a rambling over, they aren't me down it over, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. If you're bent with arthritis, your bowels have got colitis, you've galloping bronchitis, and you're thinking it's time you died. You've been a man who action, all your lying made in traction. You may get some satisfaction thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. Oh, the sober men in plenty, drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed the girl. Give me a rambling over, they aren't me down it over, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. The sober men in plenty, and together we'll face the world.